Welcome to my channel. My name is Tia, and over here we focus on dip powder nails as well as gel nails. I give you guys tips and techniques, and I walk you through your dip nail experience while you're doing your nails at home or wherever. Today's video is all about perfecting the perfect white application, and we're going to be using dip powder as well as builder gel and a rubber base gel. So we have a couple of products that we're going to be using today. All of the products featured in today's video are going to be from Nail Dip Studio. That is my line. And if you're interested, I will leave the links in the description box below. Now, today's products are the primer, the pH bond. We're going to be using the Ultra Base as our rubber base, as well as the clear builder gel. We're going to be using the white velvet powder, dip powder, as well as the glass high shine top coat. So I'm really excited about that. Now, nail prep for me is very key. So one of the things that we're going to be focusing on is just making sure that we prep our nails. We're going to wipe the nails down with alcohol before applying the pH bond and the primer. I'm going to grab my white velvet dip powder, and we're going to use that with the Ultra Base Gel Polish. Now, the Ultra Base is a rubber base gel, so it's perfect for this type of application. I'm also going to have a wooden stick off to the side, and I'm also going to have a spoon also to the side. I'm going to apply a thin layer of the clear Ultra Base, and then I'm going to grab my spoon and I'm going to sprinkle the powder over top of that. And I'm not going to dust. I'm going to lightly tap any excess off, and then I'm going to cure my finger for 60 seconds. Once you've cured everything, at that point, then I take my dust brush and I dust everything off, any excess powder off. Now, here's a pro tip. At this particular point, if you wanted to stop, if you're looking for that milky white look, just stop right here and apply your builder gel. But that's not the look that I'm going for. I want that true white, crisp look. So I'm going to apply another layer, and in total we're going to apply 3 layers. But again, we're going in very thin. Notice I haven't mentioned anything about building up the apex because we're going to do that in the next steps to come, but we're not going to do that right now. Right now it's all about color placement and making sure that we have the right amount of powder to gel ratio so that that color pay off, because I want a very crisp, bright white look. Not looking for anything, understated. I'm looking for that pure white look. So again, I'm going to apply a thin layer of that rubber base. I'm going to grab some of that dip powder using that spoon. I'm going to pour that, sprinkle that over top, and I'm also going to take a little bit of powder and put it in a spoon and then press my finger into it to ensure that I'm getting product around that free edge and those edges so that I don't have any gaps in color. It's important to dust everything off after you've cured. By doing so, this allows the gel to actually harden and it allows the acrylic to set with that gel giving you a harder structure. Now, after the second layer, and before I move on to the third layer, I like to shape in between. And I'm not doing anything too rigorous. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm tapering my nail, I'm getting that free edge together. Any overflow that may be there, if I have any, I'm going to shape that down and try to thin that out so that it looks more like the final product prior to me adding that builder gel, because that builder gel is going to add on instantaneously several layers. And so I want to make sure that I'm removing that texture and getting things as smooth as possible before I move on to that next step. Shaping your nails prior to applying that builder gel is critical. I've done it both ways. I've gone through and I've not shaped my nails and smoothed things out, and I didn't like my application because what the builder gel will do, especially if it's sitting on top of your dip powder application, is it's going to magnify any imperfections that you have will be on Front Street and you will see them. And so I like to shape. I do a light shaping, a light filing, light buffing. I'm not doing too much, but I want to do enough to where I smooth the texture out just a little bit. Once I do that, and once I'm satisfied with that texture being removed, I'm going to go ahead and dust everything off. I'm going to grab my buffer, buff everything, smooth everything out, and then I will apply my last layer. I want to make sure that this layer is the smoothest out of all the layers. Not to say that we weren't trying to make sure the application was smooth, but again, this is my tutorials are usually for the individual that is starting out or they just started and they want some technique. So I try to mimic my application to the way that they would be applying their nail and their nail products or using their nail products. And so this is my way of doing that. So I recognize that if I'm at home and I'm trying to learn this for the first time, or no one's ever showed me that I could do this, um, it could be a little intimidating. And so the goal here is not to intimidate, but to show you just different tips and tricks. Now, remember, I had that wooden stick sitting off to the side. Well, I like to use this to scrape off any product around that cuticle area, those side walls, just to make sure that I don't have any flooding or any spillage, any overflow. Once I'm satisfied with that, I will grab my powder. I will sprinkle it over top. I will always grab a little bit, cup it at the bottom of the spoon, and then run my or push my free edge into it just to ensure that that product is being packed on in the front area as well. Now that we've applied our third layer, we want to make sure to clean any gel mistakes before we apply our builder gel. And so I'm going back in with the buffer and I'm just smoothing things out. Again, if you suffer from chips or cracks or you just need a thinner yet stronger application method, this might work for you. So again, I'm using the 180 side of the nail file. I'm going around my free edge. Yes, you can use an E-file if you want, but if you don't have an E-file, you can also use your handheld file to clean up and to seal the cuticle area and the side wall and to make sure that that shape is what you want it to be. Once you have the desired shape, we're then going to move on to applying our builder gel. We're going to first apply a slip layer, and then we're going to grab a nice size, I would say a medium sized bead to place on the finger. What I'm showing you here is, see right now, it's very flat. My nail is very flat. There's no apex buildup there at all. And I still need to shave that nail down in the free edge just a little bit because it's starting to angle downward. And I want to make sure that I bring some of that up. I shave some of that down. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a harder brush. This is my little nail dry manicure brush. I'm going to take that and remove everything, remove all the dust particles just to make sure that I like the application. Once I'm satisfied with that, I'm going to grab my builder gel in the color clear, and I am going to then apply that slip layer, and then I'm going to grab that medium size bead and I'm going to start to work that product in, and you'll see that right now. Let's apply a thin layer of the builder gel in the bottle. I'm going to make this my slip layer. This will be the slip layer. And we're going to polish that on. You want to make sure that you take your time and that you're not flooding any areas. But if you do, you want to have a lint-free wipe and or a wooden stick that you can easily go in, scrape off any excess product, and then apply your small bead to actually start that apex buildup. And so once I'm satisfied with my initial slip layer and I've removed any mistakes that I may have from that, I now go in with a small bead from my builder gel, and I'm going to focus that product solely in the center, bringing it down to the free edge, and then adding additional product to my free edge or the actual nail itself, the extended part of my nail. And I'm doing that because I tend to have breakage there. Because again, I try to use my nails as tools. So I'll use my nail. Who has a screwdriver? I don't need a screwdriver. I have my nail. And then I break the nail. So in an effort to not do that, I'm trying to reinforce my nail by adding additional product. Some habits are hard to break, but I'm going to start to work the product back into the nail so that I can get the desired shape that I like. I like a tapered look with a raised apex in the center, dead center. I'm not really one that likes to place my apex too close to the free edge or too far back in the cuticle where it just does not look right. I like it in the center part. Then once I'm satisfied with the placement piece, I'm going to actually flip my finger over to allow gravity to start to pull some of that product down so that I can start to raise that apex up and create that curvature that's needed. Once I'm satisfied there, I will then grab my wooden stick and do one final cleanup before I cure my nails for 60 seconds. Now that we've cured the nail for 60 seconds, I want you now to look at the shape. You see now how there's dimension there. You see how you see the curvature there. At first it was very flat, and now we've raised the center part of our apex, not raised, Lord Jesus. We've we've raised the center section of the nail, and we've given the nail some shape, some character, some dimension. So that's another reason why I like to add the builder at the end, because I just find that it's the gift you didn't know that you needed to give to your nails or your dip manicure. So, oh, and if you also you suffer from cracking, like you know how like you put the top coat on in the traditional the resin, you put that on top, you go outside, you come back and you have all of these cracked little lines on the top of your nail. If you apply builder gel to the top of your dip application, you no longer have to worry about cracks. You won't see cracks. They don't exist because the gel has the ability to absorb a lot of that shock, a lot of that day to day. So that's one of the main reasons why I love um, putting the builder gel on top. Again, we're going to repeat the same steps that we did on my pointer finger to my thumb. We're done with the dip powder. Let's move on to the builder gel. What we're going to do now is we're going to apply a slip layer to our nail, and then we're going to grab a smallish size bead, I would say, to apply to the center of the nail. And once we apply that bead down on our nail plate, we're going to let that product sort of naturally fall into position. And we're going to manipulate some of the gathering spots that we see to reposition that product towards the center. And the reason we want to do that is we want to make sure that we're building up that apex in the center of our nail. And then I also like to make sure that I bring down just enough product to my free edge to reinforce my corners, because those are problematic areas for me. I tend to chip there. So I try to add a little bit more product there to just evenly distribute some of that weight. When I apply my bead on my nail, as you can see, I'm going side to side, but I'm primarily staying in the center. And the reason for that is that I don't want to flood my side walls. The product is naturally going to, sort of pull down as gravity takes over. It's going to pull it down and pull it into position. And so, since I know that that is already going to happen, I don't want to go ahead and cheat the process by adding product and making it more bulky, or having to wipe off and waste product because I applied too much. So I'm only going to apply it down the center. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my same thin a small liner brush and I'm going to reposition some of that product. And then once I'm satisfied with the repositioning and where everything is, from corner to corner, from side to side, I'm going to flip my finger upside down to allow gravity to pull some of that center part forward. And then if I feel it's pulling too much, I might tilt my finger upwards to reposition. And then once I'm satisfied with the shape, I will cure my nails for 60 seconds. Now we're going to remove the tacky layer. Look at that shape. Isn't she cute? We're going to remove the tacky layer from our nail. We're going to do that. We're going to grab a lint-free wipe. I'm going to grab some alcohol and we're going to remove that tacky layer. And we're going to remove that tacky layer because I want to do a little shaping and filing, just nothing too harsh, but I just want to clean things up just a smidge. And so in order to do that, I need to remove that tacky layer so that that dust doesn't just sit and collect on top of that nail. I need to be able to, use my tools to move around, and that tacky layer is just that, it's a tacky layer, and it's going to get things all tacky. So let's remove that because we know we need to file and smooth things out before we apply that top coat. And this is going to be the final opportunity to do so. So I want to go ahead and take that layer off. So once I do that, I'm going to start shaping and filing my nail into position. Once you're satisfied with your shape, grab a cotton swab and some alcohol and make sure you wipe your nails off really good. You want to go and wipe the entire finger off, the tip of the finger off. You want to make sure you get underneath and that you're really focused on removing the dust and any additional, um, powder that may be on your nails because you just got finished filing, shaping, and buffing your nails before you apply your top coat. Let's apply 2 layers of the NDS High Shine Top Coat. Make sure you cure each layer for 60 seconds. This is so freaking cute. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned a little something new. Thanks for spending the time with me and watching my content. I really appreciate it. Until next time, keep dipping.